اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها النبي اتق الله ولا تطع الكافرين والمنافقين إن الله كان عليما حكيما. واتبع ما يوحى إليك من ربك إن الله كان بما تعملون خبيرا. وتوكل على الله وكفى بالله وكيلا. ما جعل الله لرجل من قلبين في جوفه وما جعل أزواجكم اللائي تظاهرون منهن أمهاتكم وما جعل أدعياءكم أبناءكم ذلكم قولكم بأفواهكم والله يقول الحق وهو يهدي السبيل. ادعوهم لآبائهم هو أقسط عند الله فإن لم تعلموا آباءهم فإخوانكم في الدين ومواليكم وليس عليكم جناح فيما أخطأتم به ولكن ما تعمدت قلوبكم وكان الله غفورا رحيما. النبي أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم وأزواجه أمهاتهم وأولو الأرحام بعضهم والمهاجرين إلا أن تفعلوا إلى أوليائكم معروفا كان ذلك في الكتاب مسطورا إلا أن تفعلوا إلى أوليائكم معروفا كان ذلك في الكتاب مسطورا صدق الله العلي العظيم. بلند صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
وعلي محمد. أحسنت الحج. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله، صلى الله عليك وعلى آل بيتك المظلومين، صلى الله عليك يا سيد الشهداء، صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله. لعن الله الظالمين لكم من الأولين والآخرين. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. اللهم لعن أول ظالم ظلم حق محمد وآل محمد وآخر تابع له على ذلك. اللهم لعن العصابة التي جاهدت الحسين وشايعت وبايعت وتابعت على قتله. اللهم لعنهم جميعا. يقول الله تعالى في محكم كتابه الحكيم: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والفتنة أشد من القتل. تعجينا لفرد صاحب العصر والزمان: ارفعوا أصواتكم بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, and fitna is worse than killing. So this verse is talking about a certain type of fitna. Now what is fitna? There are different interpretations for fitna. Some say that it is deviation. Some say that it is trial. And there are differences of opinion of what this term actually means. But it is all used in one context. And that is when something is negative. That is called fitna. Now there are many fitan that might happen in the world. Some might be personal, some might be political, some might be economical fitna, societal fitna, and of course specifically religious fitna. And this is the type of fitna that this verse is talking about. وَالْفِتْنَةُ أَشَدُّ مِنَ الْقَتْلِ, and fitna is worse than killing. This fitna that this verse is talking about, it is religious fitna. And what is religious fitna? It is basically deviation or deviating from the truth. This is called religious fitna, or fitna ad-diniyya. Now there are 5 different types of deviations in religious fitna. Inshallah, we'll go through them and discuss other matters in regards to them. So the first type of fitna is called deviations in belief, which is in Arabic called inhiraf aqaidi. So this is when someone comes and promotes an opinion or a belief that goes against the Holy Quran and the Sunnah of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim السلام. So this is the first type of fitna, when someone comes and promotes opinions that don't align with the Sharia of Islam. The second type of fitna is called internal deviations, which is called inhirafat nafsiyya. Now what is this? This is where people, and a lot of us fall into this, start loving fame. They love power. They seek following. And we see this, unfortunately, today, and me, myself, and many of us are a victim of this, in the use of social media and how we post our pictures, we post stories of what we do in our daily life, we post what we eat, we post what gym we go to, we post our friends. We're always documenting our daily life on social media. Now someone has to think, why are we doing this? What is the reason I go on social media and post a picture of myself doing something? Why am I doing this? Not all the time, but most of the time, the answer is we love this, the interactions that we receive. We love how people send us likes. We love the comments. All of these boost our ego. And when it boosts our ego, it leads us to what this deviation is called, internal deviations, when our nafs loves these interactions and it misleads us sometimes. That's why some of those people with deviant beliefs that we mentioned just before, they had deviant beliefs and they promote these deviant beliefs. Why? Because they seek this attention that they receive. They love people to speak about them. They want people to promote their videos, for example, to speak about them all the time, because they seek this attention to themselves. Otherwise, if they don't say these things, no one will know them. So that's a second type of deviation. Third type of deviation is called deviations in mannerisms. Inhirafat akhlaqiyya. Now what is this? Is, for example, when someone has excessive confidence. Now confidence is something positive. We all seek confidence. Otherwise, if we don't have confidence, we won't be able to do many things. Even, for example, for a speaker to come up on the minbar, it requires some confidence. For the radu to stand up and recite a latmiya, it requires confidence. But the confidence that this deviation is talking about is excessive confidence. Confidence to the point where you lose your humility. And that's where it misleads that person. Because why? Yesterday when we spoke about humiliation, one of the types of humiliations we spoke about was humiliation before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If someone with excessive confidence is going to lose that. Once they lose that, they've lost their faith with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And those type of people with excessive confidence, and this is in the context of religious fitna. Some people with excessive confidence, they come and they read a few books, and all of a sudden they become scholars and starting to talk about every topic like they know it all, when they're not even ready for that. Some, for example, have studied some type of Hausa. Some maybe no Hausa background at all. They've read a few books and decided that they have some kind of knowledge and they can speak about any topic they like. And disregarding all our scholars and what they've said. So this is one type of fitna that we're talking about. Fourth type of fitna is called behavioral deviations. Inhirafat sulukiyya. And these are very dangerous. Why? Because these type of people that have these behavioral deviations are people who submit fully to their desires. And there are types of people that, for example, when it comes to religious or Islamic knowledge or Islamic matters, whenever something that doesn't suit their desires, they start to doubt them. For example, a female that doesn't wear the hijab. She comes and says, look, there's no verse in the Holy Quran that says it is wajib upon someone to wear the hijab. See, this is where the shaitan comes from. This is where Satan comes from. These so-called loopholes. Another type is, for example, people that come and say, nowhere in the Quran where it says music is haram, so I'm going to listen to music. You see these patterns? This is what this deviation, these behavioral deviations is talking about. These people, they just follow their desires. Anything that doesn't align with their desires, they start to doubt or reject that entirely. And the last type of deviation is called mental deviation. And this is something that is related solely to scholars. This is where we have to be careful. Some so-called scholars or let's say maraja, they come and you can tell that this person has misunderstanding in religious matters. Now someone might come and say, how do I know that this person has a misunderstanding in religious matters? Our scholars tell us, you have to get that person's opinions and compare him to the other maraja that are present. If that person is always, or that so-called scholar, is always having differing opinions to the mainstream opinion of the scholars, that's how you know this person has a misunderstanding of religious matters. And our scholars say that this person is not worthy of being followed. We cannot follow someone that has a misunderstanding of religious matters and acts like he's a marja and must be followed. And now I want to discuss a very important matter and something that is a religious fitna that is happening today. And this fitna is in regards to our classical scholars. Now many of us, if I ask you a question, do you know what are the 4 books of fiqh our scholars rely on when it comes to narrations to derive ahkam shar'iyya? Religious matters or religious fatawa? A lot of us will say, not really. Maybe they'll say al-kafi, but that's about it. Which is unfortunate, because when you ask a lot of the shabab, what are the Sunni books? They will tell you Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Tirmidhi, say a few more. But it's unfortunate that our youth are not educated on our classical works, on our classical hadith works, especially the ones our scholars use to derive ahkam shar'iyya. Now what are the 4 Shia fiqh books? The first is Al-Kafi by Shaykh Al-Kulayni. What's the second book? من لا يحضره الفقيه for Shaykh Al-Saduq. Third one is تهذيب الأحكام for Shaykh Al-Tusi. And the fourth is الاستبصار فيما اختلف من الأخبار to also الشيخ الطوسي. Now, and I'll start off with Al-Kulayni. If we look at the timeline of when these books were published, we'll have an understanding of how our hadiths from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam reached us. The Shaykh Al-Kulayni, which is the scholar that compiled, lived during the Ghaiba As-Sughra. So he was around during the time where the 4 ambassadors or representatives of Imam Al-Hujjah Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Al-Sharif. So in that period, they had access to the Imam. And what can I say about